What's up? Happy Tuesday. Good evening. That is our 30-second countdown. Welcome to Free Thinkers. I am one of your hosts, Nikki D. We will have our five-star moderator here tap in here in just a few seconds. If you would give me a few seconds to also make sure that we are showing up in the places that we are supposed to be at. We should be streaming on my personal Facebook page. It should be public, so any comments on there should come into our comment section here. This should also be streaming to our Facebook Freethinkers page and should also be streaming to our YouTube channel. So we've noticed, we've always noticed, but we've noticed a lot lately. We are what is called shadow banned, and essentially they don't show us how many people are watching when people are watching live. They don't tell us who's watching. So unless you comment, we have no idea who's actually watching. And the second that the show is over, we'll look at our data and our statistics, and there's like sometimes anywhere between 20 to 60 people having watched the show while we're on, and it will show us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So, the algorithms don't like when you tell the truth, and oftentimes our conversations are, ones that sometimes push the envelope. So do us a favor, and if you are wherever you're watching us from, comment in the comment section or the live chat and let me know where you are. Let me know that you're watching. I love when the show is over and I talk to a friend and they're like, yeah, I was listening to y'all tonight. And I was like, damn, I was like, I had no idea. So always make sure that you comment in the comment live section if you're not comfortable jumping into the conversation. Hold on, let me let a few people in here really quickly. Always make sure that you comment in the live comment section if you're not comfortable getting on to the panel. If you obviously want to get on to the panel tonight or any night, every Tuesday the StreamYard link changes and I have it posted on the Freethinkers Facebook group page every single Tuesday. It's pinned at the very top. So all you have to do is go to the Freethinkers Facebook page at the very top where, like, before you even get into the conversations, it has it pinned up top. That's the StreamYard link. That is where you need to go every single Tuesday. These instructions don't change, but the link does every Tuesday. So it'll always be on the Freethinkers Facebook page. If you want to join the live panel, obviously. If you're not interested in doing the live panel, then you can just chat with us in any of the live chats and those will pop up on our screen. We do like to read what you guys post, and oftentimes we'll try to engage with you that way as well. However, that's all up to queue right now because my phone is still broken, so I cannot see the comments that are posted. So do forgive us if sometimes we don't get to throw your comment up onto our live panel. We do try to engage with everybody in the live chat, but sometimes it does get missed. I'm sorry. But join the panel. Get on here with us. We will close tonight at we'll call Q calls it a hard close, so we will definitely close at
hard close.
You even said we were going to hard close last week, and we did not
No,
hard close
this one is
last
gonna
week.
be mid-sentence close. This one.
It wasn't bad. We didn't go too late last week. So we'll be out of here by 9:30 tonight. But that's pretty much it. So that's how you find us. Do subscribe to both the Facebook page and to the YouTube channel. They do serve multiple purposes. The YouTube channel, of course, has all of the videos that we do live hosted over there. Very easy to find and totally easy to just go through our library and, look at past conversations that we've had. And then, of course, our Facebook page is where all of everything happens. This is where our daily conversations happen. This is where our networking happens. This is where, all the stories happen. The topic ideas. We have 590 plus members over there on that page. So definitely a lot more happens on our Facebook page than any other spaces. So do join both places and please share. Hit the share button. If you're watching us right now, hit the like button, hit the love button, hit the share button. Tell somebody about us. I was having lunch with a friend of mine the other day, and he was talking about how he was having some heated debates with some women, and he was directing them to our page. So direct people to our page when you come across folks that like to have spirited and passionate conversations, because that's what we do here at Free Thinkers. We like to have adult conversations about a variety of things. Tonight is no exception. The last couple of weeks we haven't had a topic. Tonight we do have a topic. Tonight our topic is going to be on etiquette and manners, which should be really, really interesting. We've actually done this before. Years ago, we did etiquette and manners well before I think we ever recorded ourselves doing these things, and just met in Joe's coffee. What was it called? Genuine Joe's. Shout out to Genuine Joe's.
Genuine Joe.
Shout out to Genuine Joe's on Anderson Lane.
I drove by there a few days ago. They still popping, so
they are. They made it through the pandemic. They made it, and they're one of the few places that was doors open for us. So I don't know if we'll ever get back to that space. But certainly shout out to Joe's. I was trying to change our layout, but something happened to my phone. So I'm just going to leave it alone and call it a day. So etiquette and manners. I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago, Q, and we were both kind of passionate about, ooh. So, and then Sergio called me earlier today, and he was like, I just had this conversation with somebody recently, and it went pretty ham, he said. So he was like, you want me to join tonight? And I was like, hell yeah, join any Tuesday. But definitely curious to hear, curious to hear what got heated over a conversation about etiquette and manners, right? Like, is that even using etiquette or manners to have an argument over what's, etiquette or what's good manners? So share the page, follow, join, and we are going to get started. Q, if you want to go ahead and talk, I'm just going to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be on my end, and I will pop back in here.
Okay, I am just trying to figure out where to get started, because basically what I did, I just start going down different areas of where I guess the majority of my life is spent. Okay. And I wanted to give some. I'm gonna drop some jewels today. I hope people paying attention.
He said, "Y'all get y'all notebook
get
and
some
your
notebooks.
pen.
Yes, this could help you in life. This could help you in life.
I mean, really, truly, that's what this is really about. This isn't about like picking apart people's bad manners per se. It's literally putting people on game, because I have come to realize some folks really just don't have good manners.
Right.
Or what I think is like proper social etiquette. And that doesn't,
I didn't go much into the manner
I like
part
to use
of it.
The word called couth.
Do what?
I like to use the word called couth.
Oh yeah, couth is a good word too. Yeah, couth is a good word too.
Shoot. There y'all go using these words. I gotta look that up now. How you spell it?
COUTH, couth.
This guy.
It's like having tact, right? It's like being tactful and being proper and okay, so back to what you were saying. You were going down the list of where you spent the most time.
Okay, yeah. So what I did, I gave a few. I'm a church boy, so it's certain things in church etiquette. I did music for a while, so there's certain things in music that there's etiquette that I think people skip and they need to pay attention to.
Can I ask your denomination?
Non-denominational, but birthed primarily out of Church of God in Christ, and then in my later years, Full Gospel Baptist,
100%.
Also birthed out of Baptist as well.
Okay, I'm Roman Catholic.
Okay, gotcha.
So there's differentiations, but there's also
absolutely yes. There's there's some similarities, but there's definitely differences as well.
100%.
So then, so I got some music things, I got some podcasting things, I got some relationship etiquette things,
right?
And also a kind of a cousin to relationship, some dating etiquette things.
Mm-hmm.
And then just a couple others. So it's just where do we want to get started?
Let's see. Let's start with I don't know, you want to do relationship? Hell, just get it out the way.
Okay, let's start on some Do you have any relationship etiquettes that you things that people need to adhere to?
I mean, that list can be really, really long. I think I think we should start with dating, right? Because dating etiquette could also be different than relationship etiquette.
Okay.
So dating etiquette, setting up a proper date, right? Setting up a proper date. Actually making a date, right? This is what we're gonna do. This is what time. I'll either come pick you up or I'm gonna meet you
Right.
You know, the whole shebang, right? The opening of the doors, the pulling out of the chair, the you know, letting her order first or order for her. I went to lunch with somebody recently, and I just had to sit back and be like, you're either trying to piss me off or you really don't have any manners out.
How were they trying to piss you off? What did they do?
Well, so before the waitress even came to the table, like they were on their phone, so they weren't even able.
That's on my list.
They weren't even able to they weren't able to be, you know, they weren't able to be available, right? Like when the waitress came around to ask for drinks, like they weren't able to like communicate the message because they're on their phone. So I ordered my fucking drink because I'm paying attention. I ordered my drink and I ordered a water. This person didn't give any indication of what they did or didn't want. Normally, I would have ordered for this person since they were on the phone, but they were too busy on the phone. That's cool. I'm not going to not order my drink. So I ordered my drink, ordered my water. And I think when he realized, like, you're going to have to use your own words to, like, order your own beverage, he got really loud. Like, he was a little aggressive with it. And I was like, okay, whatever. So walks off.
Hold on, he got loud about what?
Like it just when the order was made, it was with a very raised audible sound. It wasn't like, oh, let me get to this, let me grab a, you know, it was a domineering type of like,
he
how
tried to
did you
make up
forget
for the
about
fact that
me?
he
Like,
was
how did you forget that I was ordering, right? So it was kind of weird.
Is this a first date?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No. But it's just things that I noticed, like
Okay, so let me stop you before you say anything else. So it wasn't the first date.
No.
Okay. So did that first date allow this to dictate his kind of aggression towards his action towards what he can control about you?
No, this is just the person who's been around for a long time who I don't think is very conscientious about other people in general.
Well, if he has known you, he should take, he should take notice.
Well, but again, you would have to be mindful of that. And if you're not really and truly mindful of other people, then you're not going to take notice of those things.
So was this the second date?
Huh?
Was this the second date?
No, I've known this person for a very long time. This is somebody who's been around for a long time.
On the second date, he should have been mindful.
Well, here nor there. I'm just saying these are some of the things that I noticed in this particular meal that when it was over, I thought to myself, I don't think I'm going to go out to eat with you again. Like for me as a foodie, as a food lover, like the lover of all things related to the food atmosphere and dining out, it just wasn't pleasurable company.
Right.
You know, and this is not the same person, but in the same setting, talking about like going out to eat. I know we talked about relationships first, dating, but like people who don't treat like customer service well, people who treat your waiter or your waitress like they're peons, like they're just rude. Like
I have a man that, Nikki, I'm not going to call him out. Okay, but we've known since we were 17 years old. I went to a restaurant with him 10 years ago, and he had the snap of the finger. Okay, when a waiter didn't attend to him.
Oh, hell no.
And I was like, dude, that's disrespectful as fuck, right? Because they're doing their job. We have to be mindful as to what is going on in this entire situation. So my whole thing was like, man, I would never have dinner with this man again, let alone what happens when his girlfriend decides to go to dinner with him. How much disrespect do we have? Is he trying to sling his dick around and trying to be like big boy about it, or is he just an asshole? But
some people are just rude. Some people are just not the word I'm looking for. Some people are just not courteous. They're not, and they're not mindful of other people. And so that was just kind of my thoughts going through this lunch with this person, is just how unbelievably just not pleasurable it was, right? So something as simple as, on a date anyways, not having, a man pull out a woman's chair. I love when a man orders for me. I think that is the dopest shit ever, especially for me, because I'm a very picky eater. I'm very funny about everything. So for a man to want to like even repeat my order or try to get it right, like I dig that. I think it's dope. Now, is it an expectation or requirement? Absolutely not. But to the contrary, I think it's exceptionally rude for a man to like order in front of a woman at, let's say, a meal, right?
Ooh, okay.
So
elaborate, like before.
Hold on, there's like hella interference somewhere. Like I hear it, Q.
I knew. I was waiting on you to let's see.
I hear the air sound somewhere.
That's Denise. Turn your fan off, Denise.
You know what it is? I have you on something that had. Okay, what about now?
Yeah, it's just you have a white noise, and I think Sergio has some background noise.
Okay.
The combination of the two.
Oh, that sounds wonderful, whatever that is.
Denise just muted herself.
That's what it was.
What about now?
It's better. It's better. There just was like an airy sound that kind of got
This is real airy.
loud.
There's no particular noise
I think
on
it was my humidifier. I didn't think it was that loud.
Oh, hell yeah.
As long as you put some lavender in that shit and some vanilla, you're good.
What were you saying, Denise? You were saying something about when we were talking about the date.
When you said order ahead, elaborate. You mean like ordering before you? What do you mean?
Yes. Like literally, like the man ordering before the woman does. Like, and again, like, and I know that I have like old school, traditional, sometimes archaic, like value systems oftentimes, but I just think that there is an order in which the way things go. I never watched my dad jump in front of us ladies. It was always ladies first and he orders at the end. So for me, like, even my sons, they know their order goes last. And I mean, it's not like they're paying, but it's just the women go first and the men are going to go last. So yeah, like on a date, if a dude orders his order before I get to order mine, I'm like, I feel some type of way about that. I think it's kind of rude. But that's just me, right? That's just one of my quirks.
I agree with you, and it's not a quirk. Nikki, knowing them, I was raised in a restaurant type environment. With my grandmother. Quentin, you're in Austin, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so do you know Fonda San Miguel?
Say that again.
There's a restaurant called Fonda San Miguel.
Oh yeah,
no.
Fonda San Miguel, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with it.
Well, my grandmother opened that in 1979. It's a very well-renowned Mexican food restaurant.
Okay.
And it's kind of high-end, right? It's one of those sexy kind of restaurants to where you want to impress somebody. And at a very young age, my grandmother taught me, hey, look, if you're going to take a woman, even your mother, to a restaurant, you guys talk about what she wants to have first. You order that, and then you're secondary. It's like you want to feed that woman first. And some people don't understand that. And still today, 8 years after her passing, the first thing that happens when I walk into a restaurant or if I take my wife to dinner, I'm like, hey, look, baby, what would you like to have for dinner? And I have never ordered before my wife.
Right.
Never have. We could be fighting. We could be at sorts. The whole thing is, I know that I've been taught better than to be selfish, in my sense. The word selfish is what it is.
What's the name of that restaurant again?
Fonda San Miguel.
Fonda San Miguel.
Can I chime in?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
This is, I have to say, probably a 1000% generational thing.
It is.
Literally,
Girl.
no, And I say that because like I was raised by my grandma, so I feel like a lot of the manners I have and stuff like that etiquette is because I was raised by my grandmother. But I've never heard this before. Like this is my first time ever hearing this being a thing that is
But
not
did you see it though?
exactly. I've never seen it. And usually when I go out to order, I never know what I want. So I'm just like, hey y'all, I don't even know. Just give me some time to figure it out. Y'all do your thing. Do your thing. And I'll know.
So Denise, for me, it's not even being courteous. It's like I still don't know what I want you. Go ahead, get it, because I don't even know what I want you.
That's
I'm trying to buy myself some more time still. Actually.
Okay, so let me tell you guys something.
That's different than being on a date, though. To me,
okay,
that's a little different.
So let me tell you this, okay? Okay, so let me tell you this. So my wife has a bunch of food allergies, right? I mean, we're talking about gluten, soy, wheat, everything, right? So I almost have to study a menu and call ahead and ask, hey, what oils do you guys cook with? Blah, 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 right? And most of the time when I order ahead, it's because she doesn't want to piss off the waiter and be like, she's nodding her head, right? It's like, okay, so it's a complex order. It's like, okay, we have a complex order here, right? I'll take the grunt of that, but it's because I pay attention to what her needs are. If my lady is like, okay, I can't have dairy, or I need to make sure I'll eat those chicken wings, baby, if they're not cooked in peanut oil. I'm the fucking man that will say, hey, look, or ask the waiter, can you tell me what that's cooked with? Because I just want to know. And I'll take that grunt, but it's being attentive from what I think. You have to understand and know what your mate needs. As simple as a dinner meal, right?
I'm looking at this menu right now. I'm gonna have to check this place out sometime. Okay, so let me give you. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the menu right now. So let me give you a rundown of and we on the dating part, right?
Yeah, I'm having hella technical difficulties. Keep going.
Feel free to. Oh yeah, Nikki having issues. Feel free to stop me at any time, but I'm going to give you some rundowns of just some etiquette from a dating perspective. Men.
Etiquette or manners?
Etiquette.
Okay.
Men, don't inquire about a date if you don't plan to pay fully. That's a simple one.
Don't inquire if you don't plan to pay.
If you don't plan as a man.
Further, can we define etiquette versus manners? Because I'm like Sergio. I'm like.
Can I think that's manners? No, I think that's improper etiquette to ask a woman out on a date or what you're doing and you don't plan to fully pay.
Okay, so right? Denise asked a question that I think that is it's controversial. I'll try to answer it. Okay.
Okay.
Denise, you were asking what's the difference between manners and etiquette, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So manners, in my vision, would be okay. I wash my hands before dinner. I want to be, I guess, positive about a meal. I want to shake somebody's hand. Etiquette, I feel it's like when you sit down to dinner, are we going to use the fork, the spoon, the knife? Are we going to not put our elbows on the table?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Those are like a old school 1800s type process.
What's the interweb say? Okay. I was going to look up the definition too, and I just didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a customary code or polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group.
Well, I would say that opening a door for a woman or anybody, for a fact, an elder, even the homie that walks up and has a bag full of bullshit in his hand, I'm going to open that door up, and that's just going to be that I have an etiquette. my etiquette is going to say,
See, I would just call that manners of being
Me
polite.
too.
Yes, manners. Yes.
okay,
Right.
that could be, right?
They're interchangeable for me, and manners and etiquette really for me go hand in hand.
Well, the stuff I'm talking about ain't necessarily gonna be manners, but it like I wouldn't consider it having good manners.
Right, like the date thing, like the don't
Right.
ask me on a date unless you're paying.
Right. That's not even about manners to me.
That's
So let me you call it what you want to. Okay.
Right.
So let me
Right.
go with it. So on the flip side, women, don't inquire about a date if you're not at least going Dutch at a minimum. That's the bare minimum.
Wait, women don't inquire about a date?
Yeah. So, okay. So you gonna take me out sometime? When you gonna take me out?
Why is she asking anyway?
Women,
Like,
okay, that's a whole different story. But
well,
people do that.
I'm not. When you gonna take me out? I'm not gonna ask you when you
Some
gonna
people
take
do
me
that.
out.
But if you do that at a bare minimum, either you're going to pay,
right,
or at the barest minimum, you're gonna go Dutch, where I'm going to pay for myself and you can pay
As
for
opposed to when we're going to go out. If a woman is to say, when are we going to go out? And
that's the same thing. That's the same thing. You're
like
still inquiring.
To go out
You're still inquiring or
you're putting
being
it out there
proactive.
first.
You putting it out there first.
Yeah.
If you putting it out there at a bare minimum, you should be going Dutch. Don't put it out there and then have him pay everything.
Right. I agree.
That's improper. Now, I'm glad I wrote that in there too. This includes his willingness to pay. So even if you proposed it, you said this and this, and he agreed to go out, and even if you said, all right, we're gonna go Dutch, or I'm gonna pay for this, and then he'd be like, oh, no, that's okay, I got it. Nope. You proposed the date, you the one who pushed for it to go. Do not allow him to pay for you in that setting if you're the one who pushed for the date.
100%. And let me tail on that. I've had a lot of conversations about this. You know, I'm almost an elder to some of the people that I work with or my employees. This is interesting because you almost have to set a boundary. Okay. As embarrassing as it may be, we're talking about financial responsibility of this dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could say, hey, look, let's go to dinner. Let's choose a place. Going Dutch, right? You could say, hey, look, and you have to be honest, and a lot of men aren't fucking honest about this. I can honestly tell you, 10 years ago, I would say, hey, look, hey, hold on a second. Background noise. I can say, hey, look.
Get on you, but
I can say, hey, look, I don't have a lot of cash this week. Can we choose something that's economical so that we could both have a good time? I think a lot of men they're not exposed to being so honest about that. Because a lot of men don't want to spend $100 the first night. And it's nothing derogatory, but it's like, hey, look, let's see where it goes because we work hard for our money.
Right.
And it's like, hey, look, I got to be honest with this woman because I want her to be honest with me. And I felt 10 years ago, if I was to say, hey, look, let's go on a date, pick a place. I'm not made of money, but how about let's go to Applebee's and have a good meal together. That will immediately dictate to that woman or your opposite attraction to where, okay, this isn't a meal to be extravagant about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Let's go and have some dinner and get to know each other. But I think that people are very afraid to be honest about that.
Yes, that's true.
I think that is etiquette in itself, or lack of etiquette is somebody, we'll say women, because generally it's men who are asking women out on dates, right? Not to say it doesn't go the other way, but generally it's men asking women. Women who take advantage of the opportunity. And instead of going to something, let's say reasonable between an Applebee's to let's say maybe like a Pappadeaux's, she's trying to go to like Eddie V's, or she's looking at like a $200, $300 meal. Like, come on.
Nikki, listen to my next two. Okay. Here go one. Do not allow a man to pay for a date when you have zero interest in him. If you got a little interest, mild interest, I might kind of like him, see where it's going to look. If you have no interest at all, do not allow him to pay for your date.
I agree.
Don't do that.
I agree.
My next one.
Don't do anything if you have no interest in someone who you know has interest in you.
But you find some people will do it for a meal.
But that is like that's the culture now, is people trying to literally get a free meal.
And this and the other one that I said that goes along with what you were saying, Nikki. Women, do not request a man to take you to a place that you either can't or won't pay for yourself.
Yeah.
So either if you can't afford it, don't be trying to get him to take you out here on a date. Yeah. Or if you're not willing to pay, oh no, that's too expensive for me. Well, then don't ask him to take you out on that either.
Yeah.
Improper etiquette for you to sit there and try to get him to pay for something that either you can't do or you're not willing to do yourself.
I agree. I agree.
I got 3 more, and then y'all can tell me what else y'all got as far as dating. Always keep your alcohol intake down on a first date.
Oh, yes.
If you like getting lit, if you like whatever, you need to cut that in half. Get your nice, moderate buzz at best. You don't need to be tipsy. You don't need to be drunk. Just a nice little, I feel good. That's as far as they need to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Man,
go ahead, speak.
Quentin, let me tell you, bro. Sometimes when that happens, it's a preemptive vision of what you have in store for the next 6 weeks. Because here's the thing. Okay, I always hated dating because you spend 6-8 weeks faking it with the woman or man that you want to hang out with, only to spend the next 8 weeks after that learning who the real you is.
It don't matter. It don't. No. Sergio, don't matter because, like, let me say it like this: when you go on a job interview, even if you about to work at McDonald's, you ain't wearing no tie, no collar, nothing else. You still present yourself as a first impression. You present yourself a certain way, right? The first time you introduce yourself to someone, even if that's not going to be the norm, at least show somebody that you know how to act if you need to.
Well, here's the thing though, Quentin. Okay. If your daily activity involves 5 shots of vodka and a 6-pack of beer, and that's the normal, I want to know that from the beginning.
No, I don't want to know that. I will find that out over time, but I do want to know. I do want to know that you got
find out that trend.
Everybody got their thing, whatever that is. Right. But show me that you do have some restraints. Show me that you do respect my time enough to be like, I'm not going to be outside of myself drunk to where, like, no, I want to see that. And see, because this is the thing. Some people, even with certain vices, you may have a vice that I'm okay with. Right. As long as you know when to reel it in at the right time, and you know when when we at the house, you might just, all right, we at the house, you want to get loose. Right. But at least you're letting me know when we go out in public, if I'm going on this work party and I need to know that you know how to act when the time comes. And oh my God, Nikki, Denise and Sergio, there's so many people that I've seen. I don't know how many of you, and Nikki, you've worked for yourself so much, but you go to these work parties, these Christmas parties, and
that's when they turn into my clients too.
Their spouses do not know how to act. And they get there and, oh my God, don't let it be an open bar. Jesus Christ. Some of these people, they get out there and you can see the husband or the wife, they're just embarrassed because their spouse don't know how to act. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God. And I've had women who just falling all over me. I'm laughing like, oh, okay, it's cool. And he's just embarrassed because anything he tried to do at that point, like, it's going to get worse if he try to pull it back. And those are the people you don't want to have to be like, I can't take my spouse nowhere because they don't know how to act.
So to that point, Q, oh God, I don't know, maybe it was a couple months ago. It was one of the nights Smack was up at third base. And so a bunch of us had gone up there like on a Saturday night. And third base is a restaurant. So it's a sports bar. So it's not like, tear the club up type shit. It's a fucking sports bar, right? And it's a great time when we go. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love going up there. Right. And so there was this dude that I had engaged in some conversation with. And I was like, this is where I'm going to be at. You know, if you want to fall through, then, you know, fall through, say what's up. Ooh. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know how much he drank before he got there. But by the time he got there, he was like sitting at the bar with some guy that he had met at the bar, and they were doing a couple shots, right? Like they're drinking shots, they're talking military stories and shit. And so me, I'm like, all right, well, that's what's up. He's like, what do you want to drink? I was like, right now, just some water, actually. Like, I'm good. Let me just get some water. And I'm like, I need to peep this whole episode because my people are going to be here like this. You know, I don't like to mix my new people with my people. Right. But, yeah. Long story short, dude drank a lot that night. We all went outside of the patio. You know, we was chilling outside of the patio and, you know, he partook a little bit. And the next thing I know is he, like, has left the group and he's fucking face over the railing throwing up in the street. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, yo, this is not fucking happening. He eventually comes back to the table where everybody was at. We totally had to just like pretty much ignore like this just happened. Like we're gonna pretend like this dude didn't just do this. So dude comes back to the table.
Yay.
Falls asleep at the table. And at this point now, I'm like, bro, you can't drive. Like you might as well go ahead and sleep on this table until 2 a.m. hits.
See, and that's a lack of self-awareness. So
I'm never going to talk to you again. And I've never spoken to him since he pulled out of that driveway.
You should have went and slept that off in your car. Don't come around new company and be
new
like
people, new everything. Like you coming into my space. Like
here's one thing though. I always say this. A child and a drunk are always going to tell the truth.
Right. Old people, the elderly people, they will.
Yeah, they
but, man, oh my God, my grandmama, man. But it's the whole thing. It's like, okay, right. So it's like, do you want to face the truth of what's in front of you? Like for example, Nikki, you're glad that he fucking showed his true colors the first night because, and that's what I'm getting at. You know, okay, so
sometimes it works that way, sometimes it doesn't. But the last thing you want to do is be like, it was uncomfortable to me because what if it was just he and I? What if I rode with him? What if I allowed him to pick me up for this date and we rode out to go get something to eat and bro is puking his guts out? Like that now puts me in a bad situation, which is why I don't let men drive me, which is why I always have my car, like all that shit. But like, there's just so many ways that could have gone bad, like in a getting to know somebody in the very beginning situation. Versus, I mean, a true alcoholic, honestly, or somebody who truly has a problem with alcohol, it's not going to take long before you realize they've got a problem with alcohol. That isn't going to take very long. But this, to me, I was like, this was your first impression. It was horrible.
Yeah, that's no. I need to know that
you can control yourself,
right? And I need to know that a first impression means something to you.
Right.
I don't need to just see you and you'll just
right.
I think that goes to the old roots of I guess you know, proper etiquette, right? But also what we have lost in the past 10 years of what relationships and friendships are. You know, with my son is 20 years old this year, and just watching just strangeness with friendships and like just normal basic daily activities. It's so different, and it makes me almost feel like what I was raised with down in the South. Like, you know, you open the door, you say yes ma'am, yes sir, you respect your elders. It's almost scary, Quentin, to know that some of those old school tactics that we know as normal are looked at as being obscure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like when I open a door, I'm here in California. I'm near San Diego, and you know, I chose myself. I look like a fucking thug. I'm tatted all the way from my fucking head to my heels. When I open the door for somebody, I don't know if they're afraid of because of what I look like or of because they're trying to portray that, oh, I don't need somebody to open a door for me. But when I do, for example, I walk into a Target, right, Quentin? I can say, hey, look, open a door. And somebody says, oh, I got it. And they give me a pretty face.
I'm gonna get to that later. We'll go ahead.
But I'm like, okay, this is how I was born and raised. And mind you, I'm from Texas. I was born and raised in Austin, Texas since 1976. Okay, I'm 48 years old. My grandmama taught me well. My grandmother was a cotton picker. Okay, she came from Mexico in the 40s. And it's all about respect, right? But when I open a door for somebody, I'm not doing it just because I'm trying to be masculine or whatever. This is common courtesy. I mean, if a man comes, Quentin, if I didn't know you, white, black, brown, purple, whatever, if you have 2 bags in your arms and you're walking in a grocery store, I'm going to open that door for you.
Right.
And, out here in California, if I open that door for somebody, whether it be man or woman, when I hear, I got it, it's okay. They don't want that help. It's hard for me not to get angry that there is no longer this etiquette.
I'd be curious to see how, Denise, your experience is coming from the South, going to New York. Like, was that a huge culture shock because we are so ingrained in Southern hospitality? It's Southern hospitality down here.
So this is the crazy thing. The culture shock, I think, came more so as it pertains to personal space, but in terms of holding the door or because out here, you might hold the door for a stranger that's trying to get on the train because you know that the next train is coming 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, and you're you see them trotting down the thing, and you're they're trying, let me hold the door for this person I never met before, and I got to use my strength because this is not I'm just holding the door that just
train
door. An automatic door that's trying to close. So in terms of, you putting your life on the line trying to help a stranger out here. I've seen people rush to get off a train and a random person hold the train so they can get off because they almost missed their stop. And people are very, very courteous, I feel in that sense. But in terms of space and saying things excuse me, I say excuse me, people are not used to it. People are used to just kind of being moved out the way. So that's something that people don't do. Because you can pretty much be saying excuse me all day out here because again, there's so many people in your personal space. Now, okay, Sergio, there's something I wanted to say. When I tell somebody, I feel I've probably potentially told somebody, oh, I got it. Don't worry about it. Because maybe I'm taking my time. I'm moving too slow and I don't want to hold them up, but I also don't maybe want to rush. Right. I would have never guessed that a person might feel a way about that. So I'm kind of glad you said that because I would have never.
Okay. So for example, when you're walking into a department store or a grocery store or whatever, and you're walking by, and I'm at a door. For example, I'm at a door, Denise, right? Mm-hmm. And I look back and I see you 7 feet behind me. Okay, I know you want to get into the door. You want to come into the store. So if I stand back, keep that door open for you to enter. This is not a big deal, right? But you would say, it's okay, I got it. I don't, whatever.
I would say,
I got it too. Go ahead.
Right.
Exactly.
That's your problem. That ain't my problem.
Exactly.
There's a whole line of doors. You can open another door if you so choose.
Exactly.
I ain't got to stay on. I just keep the door open. Okay.
Right.
Exactly. But that comes from the I don't give a shit, I don't need you perspective. But as a community, we need to keep each other positive.
No, but no, I wouldn't. That's the mindset that I have, but I don't say that to them directly.
Neither do I.
It's one of those things to where, oh, I got it. Okay. I'm not closing. I'm not going to close the door on you just because you say you got it.
Let me tell you, Quentin. Let me tell you, Quentin. This is, I think, where etiquette comes in. My grandmama would beat my ass if I didn't hold the door open for somebody that needed it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I come from, and it doesn't take any effort. It doesn't take any energy. You already at the door. If you can hold it for 5 seconds, ain't no big deal. But when somebody,
I don't go into that because that's a them issue and not.
I was just gonna say that's about them, not me. I'm not even gonna put no attention into that.
If you don't like me holding the door, just grab another door and you open it yourself. And as you go in, then I'll walk on.
I think that's where I feel that this society has ignored the fact that there are kind people in the world.
I was gonna say, I just want to speak up for the people who don't think about things like that, because I could be a little aloof. And sometimes it's not that people aren't kind or good people. They're not focused like that when they're out and about. Like they're not that present. So like, oh, somebody's behind me. Oh, somebody's like, that's like a conscious effort for me to have to think about everybody around me and what I need to be doing when I'm out, because it's just not how my brain is wired. So sometimes,
and then maybe because you're a woman too, so it's not even nothing that it's not a conscious thing for women to open doors for everybody else.
Well, I'm saying even as a woman, sometimes it's a conscious thing for women to just be polite and say hi and smile. And sometimes I'm not even in that space.
Oh no, I don't have that expectation on people.
Some people do, like, oh my God, they look so mean, or they didn't smile, or they didn't say hi, or he didn't open the door. And I'm like, it's not always that people are not polite or they're not good people. It's just we're all wired so differently. I just think it's a high expectation to expect people to be any type of way, but just themselves when they're out. Like, I don't put all those expectations.
Hold on a second. We on. I'm gonna let we gonna continue this conversation as we move around to. I'm stuck. We're gonna have this hard close. I'm telling you. So make sure that we can keep having it. It's necessary. It's necessary. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the last two. Anyone who want to add things on from a dating perspective, then we go ahead and then we move to the next one. So the last to last one. Keep cursing to a minimum on a first date.
I agree.
I agree. And that's coming from me.
And then okay. This one is if you're on a double date, as far as dating. If you're on a double date, don't leave your person with another unknown person. And what I mean by that, say we out. Me and my girl out, Nikki and her dude out.
People.
And me and Nikki know each other. We cool. We had conversations all day. My girl and her dude don't know each other,
right?
Or her girlfriend or whatever. And we're like, okay, we're going to go grab some drinks. We'll be right back. And you lead them 15, 20 minutes to awkward silence or awkward conversation. It's like, I don't know this dude. Why you leave me with her, or why you leave me with him, and we don't know each other, we have nothing in common, so now we are forced to spark up this weird idle BS conversation, and it's like, why would you do that? And you know, that's men get the bad end of that too, especially when you go out on if you got kids and you know go on kitty dates, a little birthday party, and then they leave the men sitting around like
with a bunch of other randoms.
Yes, don't do that. Don't do that. That's
true.
That's poor etiquette. So those are my things. I don't know if anybody else want to add something to
I
those.
do. I want to ask your thoughts on response time etiquette when dating someone.
Okay.
More specific. Be more specific.
Yes.
So you just
like you get a number and who contacts who after what time?
No, y'all have already exchanged numbers. You're getting to know each other. Is there response time etiquette? And let's say you pick a time. Do you then have to, once you exceed whatever time you think that is, have to explain your whereabouts to a new person
No.
about why you didn't respond within the time period that you thought was a reasonable time.
I think that's a trap. It's a trap. Let me tell you. For example, I own my own business and I am busy from 5 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. Now, I paint custom cars. So if my phone was to ring, and I'm going to say this from when 5 years ago I met my wife. Oh, shit. Oh, baby, let me see that shit again. Hey, put it up. That's what I do. That's the shit that I do right there. That's me. Okay. So, damn, nigga, thank you, baby. God damn, I love you.
Thank you.
Okay. So when it's like, okay, I'm busy. If my phone rings and I'm in the paint booth, I can't call you back. I can't answer that phone. I think it has to be.
Well, hold on. We ain't talking about your wife. We're talking about a date, somebody that
Well,
you're
either
newly
way,
dating.
From the beginning, and I'm talking about this about when we started dating. Okay, there was never stress about you can't answer my phone or why are you not answering my phone call. It became an immediate acknowledgement of how busy I am and when my free time is. That has to be laid out in the front. If you say, hey, look, for me, example, hey, look, I'm busy. You can text me and I'm going to call you as soon as I'm free because I got to make some cash. I'm busy. I can't be interrupted. I will call you as soon as I can. If that's not laid out from the beginning, there's going to be a free-for-all of thinking when that phone rings, I should answer.
I think there's a gray area in that.
I was gonna say, I think in the beginning, 24 hours to respond.
And even if you don't, I look, I may not be required to answer your call, but I can be tied up. I hit you back. Later.
I can't be.
I mean, you can text somebody. I mean, you can send it. And when I'm saying, hold on, let me say it like this. Though. Let me say it like this. You don't have to, but if you are really interested in someone, you within 24 hours, you're gonna give them some type of message or confirmation that you receive them reaching out to you.
100%. But we
that's
can't
Denise. That's my answer. My answer is 24 hours.
We can't be slave to that beep.
No, and I think that there are some people who have really unrealistic expectations about response time. I think that, what do they say? If you want a successful man, he's going to be busy. Otherwise, you're going to babysit him because he's going to have too much damn time on his hands. Like it's one thing for a person that has their phone in their hand 24/7 that's not responding. It's another thing for somebody who is legit busy. And I think that with proper communication, that gets communicated to the next person, and you realize, okay, cool, like I get it. You're busy. You'll hit me up later, like whatever. But I think 24 hours, like after a first date, if we went on a date and I didn't hear from you for 24 hours, I would be inclined to think that maybe you were a little bit not interested in me. After 24 hours, I would.
Right.
I would think that maybe you're not that interested in me, and that's okay. But if the vibe is good and the energy is cool, we had a great time and great conversation. Right. Like I would expect that I'm going to hear from you like sooner than 24 hours.
I don't expect you to necessarily have to answer the call. If I call, you don't have to answer, but you can text me back after a period of time and let me know. Oh,
shoot me a text.
Your call. I'll hit you back. I'll hit you back later.
Right.
Here's another thing, guys. Here's another thing. Okay, so when we talk about an interested party, okay, you find somebody you're interested in, and we're gonna go to the second date, right? I mean, hell, my sister, Nikki, whomever, anybody on this phone, if we were like hanging out, I would say, hey, look, call me when you get home. Text me as soon as you get home.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about this courtesy of your acknowledgement that you're safe, that you're good. And if for me, if I was interested or if my date left on the first date, I would say, hey, girlie, call me as soon as you get home.
Yeah, let me know you made it.
Yeah, let me know you made it. Yeah. And that interest alone.
I don't know. That could be overdoing it sometimes, but
I wouldn't like that, but yeah.
Man,
they
Quinn,
got people already. They got friends and people that
I
already
don't
let
need
them
you
know
for
that,
that when I
they
first
they
got
got people that they confirm with to let them know that they made it
I
home.
tell my girl,
that can
I
fall
wait
into
for
the
my
lane
girls
of
to get in the door when I drop them off. Like that's just
exactly.
me.
But Nikki, and you're right. That's me. But
that's your girl. That's
I'm
your
like,
girl. That's
hey,
what I'm
hey,
saying. I'm conflicted about that one.
Okay, so let me tell you this.
Because
Okay,
now it's forcing accountability. It's like I don't have to be accountable to you.
Quentin,
That's one of my homegirls. That's one of my homegirls' mentality. She's like, I hate when you tell me to call you or text you when I get home. She goes, because then it makes me think about it all the way home to not forget. She goes, to forget when I get home and then be worried about it the next day that I didn't text you and let you know
Like,
I
I've
made
been
it
on
home
this earth
safe.
40-something years. I've been all right. I've been
I'm
doing
like,
all right without
damn
this.
it.
I have thoughts. I have
Go
thoughts.
ahead.
My thing is, I feel like as a man, like if I was a dude and I went on a date with a woman, I would want to know when she got home too. Because if the last thing everybody knew was I was with your ass, I need to, hey.
I need some text confirmation and I'm the last one to see you for now.
Well, okay, so here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you this, okay?
Great area. I agree with that.
Hey, Quentin, so 5 years ago, I met my wife, right? And she's much younger than me. Happy-go-lucky, kind of zany, outlandish. And one of the things that she used to really get angry with me was when I would say, hey, look, just text me when you get home safe. Okay? And at first, she thought that I was being controlling or domineering or whatever because she never had a man in her life that actually gave a shit. And I wasn't trying to say, hey, look, I just want to know when you're going to be home.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure, hey, baby, let me know when you're safe. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
And after about a year, Quentin, she was like, texted me before I even asked. And it was never a big thing. But if you understand from the beginning that you're not trying to be controlling, you're just being real and being concerned, I think the way you approach that.
No, I agree with that.
Different
I
strokes
also
for different
think
folks.
your intention is not always received in that type of way.
Right.
So
100%, and that's why I get upset that the chivalry of what men have these days to offer is translated into weirdness, as opposed to
there's a lot of weird people out there, though.
I know, dude.
And not only that, you have to account for the weird people that's out there. So it's not, I don't care what I know my intentions are. I have just like Ivory was talking about, where I might not smile and I might not. When certain people do certain things, and I have to account for all the creeps that they have to deal with over the course of a week.
Okay, so
if they're unnecessarily standoffish towards me, I have to understand, they deal with a lot of stuff that we don't have to deal with.
Okay, so Quinn, let me
maybe they are asshole, maybe they just don't trust you, whatever the case is. I have to understand that, and I'm not going. You can't take it to what's wrong with you? No.
Quentin, let me ask you this, homie. Okay, so Quentin, if you have one of your homies, right, birthday party, you guys go out, whatever, and your homie is, maybe he's distraught or had too much to drink. My thing would be like, hey, Tommy, call me as soon as you get home, homie.
Sure.
As soon as you walk in that door, bro, give me a buzz. Just shoot me a text message. Why does that have to be different with a woman?
Because again, like I said, your homie is somebody that you are accountable for. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Nino Brown. Let's go back. But in a situation like on a first date or going, Nikki, she got her own tribe that's accountable to her. And even when they out right now, if me and Nikki out, she already got a whole group of people who know where she at and know what they doing that's accountable for. And she gonna account to them when she gets home. So it's not, I'm not saying it's wrong for me to do, but it can be a gray area because in some instance you can be overstepping your bounds or perceived to be overstepping your bounds when you try to,
I agree.
Sure.
Like my whole life, all my existence, I ain't never had to call you and let you know where I made it or this. So why do I need to do it now? I got people.
And listen, especially we're first dating. Well, what if I have another date after this date? What if I have
what if? What if?
And maybe I don't want to tell you, but now you clocking when I get home. No thanks. No thanks.
And I can see it being that way sometimes too, Ivory. I think not all people do it with good intention. I think some people do it with I'm finna check your ass intention. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like I'm just legitimately want to make sure you made it home safely. That's all I want to know. You know, I think some people are checking for the time. You're right.
I do. I'm just saying your intention can be misinterpreted. So sometimes you got to think like, do I want my intention to be misinterpreted? So some things you just got to watch.
And I think this comes to the difference between manners and etiquette. There's a big difference. My grandma would tell me etiquette, which is if you're going to be involved with somebody, friendship or relationship, check on them.
Sure.
Right.
That's all it is.
Okay.
And that's my natural thought to do. Go ahead.
What about you drop somebody home at night? Do you wait for them to get in the door?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely.
I have another rule too, Denise. Like if people are at my house and they leave, I stay at the door until they get in their car door closes and I know they're in their car and their door is locked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
I watched you and Q get in the car before I shut my door.
I just know like I'm gonna make sure you were able to leave my house safely.
Right. Yep, I'm the same way.
Okay, we're an hour in. Do we want to switch over to the relationship side?
Yes,
we got 30 minutes left. All right, stop me whenever you feel. I got a few of them, and then anything that you got, then throw it in there as well. Now, this is a big one, and it's not just relationship, but this is more in general, but it kind of falls into relationship. Don't open a door for another man's woman in his presence. If he won't do it, you don't do it. Don't stand up that man. Maybe he didn't see, maybe he was preoccupied, maybe he got some work to do. But if I'm whether I'm at church, whether I'm at whatever, I'm not opening the door for another man's woman because that stands him up. Don't do it.
I've never looked at it like that.
And what if the man is in the area but not there? And you see a woman coming in, and you're like,
that's fine.
Over here.
That's fine. I said in his presence.
Oh,
if you're in his presence, and then see, because then let me tell you something. Because then this is what you get, and then that's the woman will take the opportunity. Oh, that's nice. Somebody opened the door for me, and now you didn't open up a whole other can of worms that you ain't intend to do. Somebody open doors. That's not. No, we're not doing that.
I do this all the time. I do this all the time. I don't care if it's a man, woman, grandmama, or grandpapa. If I have the ability to open that door for somebody in front of me, I'm going to do it. And I've noticed this. If there is a man that lacks or fails to open that door, he could have grabbed it, but maybe I was just a little bit closer. And what I do is I'll grab it and I'll say, hey, man, I got you, homie. I got him, not her.
Right.
That's true.
It's one of those things where I'm like, hey, got you, homie.
That's something that if he's not doing that on a regular basis, now you're standing him up. Exactly.
And this is one of those things where I don't take any power from a man. Okay. In fact, if I'm at a club or downtown, right? And mind you, my wifey is a little bit younger and, she's pretty cute. If a man looks at her, I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm like, yeah, sure. I appreciate the compliment. It kind of goes the same way about me opening a door for this man's woman. And I'm not opening it for her. I'm opening it up for y'all. And it could be just as simple, Quentin, as me just being 2 steps ahead. It's I'm trying to outplay him.
He said, no, I ain't going to do it.
No,
that's interesting.
I've seen that before. I've served in church. I was an elder, a deacon, doorkeeper, doing stuff like that. And there's certain things to where a man got to, he should know, but if he don't know, he got to learn it himself. And you don't want to be the token piece dangling between their relationship. Oh, you see how cute he opened doors. How come you? No, we not doing all of that.
Okay.
Not doing all of that.
Hey, Quentin. So what if they're 60, 70 years old?
He better get that door. If that's what he do, he gonna get that door.
Well, no, I have a problem with that. If she's 60, 70 years old, I'm gonna grab that door from my elders.
I got you.
I don't care what he does. You know,
and you know what? Most men, if he know, he gonna get that door for his woman, no matter how old she is.
Right.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna change my etiquette for somebody with a lack of
that's
ability.
your right. That's your right. I'm telling you my experience, and that those are lines that I don't cross, and I would not recommend most men my age, especially. And I understand you, even with the outlier. Yeah, I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna open the door. I open the door for both of them. In that instance, I'm like, I will open the door for both of y'all, especially if y'all having trouble walking. But you an able-bodied man, she an able woman, and they're similar to age around me. This and that. Nope.
Well, here's another take on it. So, like for example, these people these days, they do shit because nobody calls them out on their bullshit. Okay, so if I open a door for a man and his woman, and whatever they want to feel about it, that man is probably going to, or at least hopefully, going to think, "Man, I should have done it myself."
Probably not.
No, probably not.
If they're the kind that already don't automatically think it and know it, they're probably not going to think it after the fact.
Well, the fact that I did it puts a seed in his head like somebody else was going to do it for her.
Now, I open doors for couples all the time, especially if they got a baby or something like that, or he walking there. I open the door for them, but I'm not opening the door for her.
Yeah.
I'm not doing, especially if he missed it, if he didn't get it, if he wasn't, if he didn't hustle up to the door quick, nope, not doing it. Okay, let me keep going because we're going in a little. Okay, relationships. What did that mean? Oh, okay, and this goes more. Okay, this goes more to double dating to stay on a group subject. And what I mean by that is another example. Me and my girl Nikki and her dude out. Me and Nikki know each other. And we just start talking about a whole bunch of stuff that only me and her can really have conversations about. Stay off of that. Yeah, we on this free thinker stuff, and we on it, and it kind of excludes her dude and my girl from being in the conversation. Stay out. No, let's stay on a conversation that everybody can be involved in. Otherwise, it's poor.
That's a good one. Quick. Let me add.
Go ahead.
To group thing, whether you are the more aggressive woman or the more aggressive, whoever you are as the more aggressive person in the relationship, tone that down when you're on a double date. It is so uncomfortable for the other couple for you to be dominant in front of them. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, but why would they be any different? You're right, but why would they be any different? Because that's just how they are.
Tone it down. You gotta consciously tone it down.
We're talking about tips you could take away.
So
I know.
So stuff that come up, and then I'm the first one to jump in and give my opinion every single time on something. Like, dang, you gonna let your girl talk?
You gonna let her
say anything? You gonna let her have any input?
Yeah, but why hide it if you're gonna find out in 6 months later?
No, I'm saying it's a double date. It's a double date. It's just uncomfortable for the other couple.
Back some. Allow everybody to participate.
Because let me say this too. Let me say why.
Go ahead.
For my husband, like neither one of us kind of dominate each other kind of in that way, but he's still a very kind of dominant male. So if we go out with a couple and the woman's really like dominant and she's like barking orders and you shouldn't have done it like that. Like for him, it is an instant like it shuts him.
It's uncomfortable.
It shuts him all the way down. I can't say boo to him after a woman act like that. I mean, I can't say nothing. Babe, can you what?
Like, oh, that's what we're doing.
I know exactly that. I know exactly the dynamic in which you speak of too, and that is weird. It literally leaves everybody else at the table being like,
yeah.
It's just like, oh, do I say something? Do I not say
drowned
something?
the group conversation, and now it's just you talking, and then next thing you know, like, and then then they had the nerve. Oh, y'all show quiet. Well,
Yeah.
you doing all the damn talking.
Right.
we fell back because you over here. So I mean, yeah, that. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me go back here. Oh, this relationship. I think maybe
it's you, Denise.
Okay, I have a group.
Okay,
I have a
there
Go
we
group
ahead,
go.
Denise.
etiquette
Go
thing.
ahead, Denise.
Can you hear me? Okay, so I have a group etiquette thing. I think that if it's a big group talking, or even just a group of two people, and somebody comes into the group, I think when you want to make a person feel included, you kind of let them know, hey, this is what we were just talking about, to include them in on the conversation.
Unless it's free thinkers, then we've already started.
Yeah, no, that ain't about free thinking. That's about that's other stuff.
Right.
Oh, I got something about that too. We probably ain't gonna get to it, but I got something about the podcast and stuff too.
You know, Denise, I agree with that. It's like if you have somebody comes into a conversation, that is the difference of you making your friend feel comfortable.
Yeah, welcome into it. Yeah,
exactly. If you just continue the conversation and don't include them, I think that etiquette is just bullshit. If you don't, you ain't no friend of nobody. Because I mean, if you walk into the conversation, I mean, hey, look, hey, Denise, yeah, we were just talking about, relationship shit. What do you think about this?
Right.
Come and listen. Or as opposed to me continuing my conversation with Nikki or Quentin, and you have to figure out what the fuck is going on for the next 5 minutes. That is completely disrespectful, in my opinion.
Okay, y'all have a question. Q, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
You are a significant other. You see your significant other talking to someone. You walk up to your significant other. Whose job is it to do the intro when you're talking to this other person? Should you have to come in and be like, my name is so-and-so? Or should your person be like, this is...
That's her. I don't know whoever that is. That's their job. The person who mutually knows both people, the person who mutually knows both people on whatever level, it's their job to introduce.
Agree. Yeah.
That's true, but I'm socially awkward, so I just introduced myself so I could skip the weird moment of wondering.
I love you, girl. I love you.
She said I'm socially awkward. I'm just gonna introduce myself.
I can go through the weird.
I love you, girl.
Do it.
Right.
I guess I don't get into many situations or spaces where if I come into a conversation with other people, that the mutual person doesn't just automatically introduce into the group or whatever. Like I don't run into that dynamic often where you're sitting around like, am I supposed to say something or are they supposed to bring me in? Like most people that I know generally just do that by omission. So that's not what I run into too often.
Nikki, and I guess I'm one of these guys that I'll just walk in and I don't give a fuck. I'm like, hey, I'm Sergio. What's going on? What are y'all talking about? I'll just walk in and I don't care. I don't sit back.
I do. I do care. I like to keep the conversation first, but
they're in the middle of what they could be an important conversation. You just jumping in.
Okay, so Quentin, I have to strategically plan when I'm going to interject. But when I walk into an environment, I don't sit back. I wait for the time to get comfortable to what. Okay, so Quentin, you have to know that you walk into a conversation with like 4 or 5 people, and you don't know anybody, and one of your homies is talking and not taking the initiative to introduce you. I don't wait for that fucking moment. I'm like, hey, what's up, dog? I'm Serge. What's up? Let's talk. Not in those words.
That could go to personalities because I'm an introvert by nature, so I can just not talk at all.
But wouldn't it be? Isn't it rude though if the mutual party just doesn't introduce you to? Yeah, like I think that's weird and rude. Like, why would you not introduce me into? Clearly, I'm standing here. Clearly, I'm I'm
I don't
third
remember
party
their
in this conversation. Do what?
100%.
I don't remember
That
their
is 100%. The
and I
100%
would have to
disrespectful.
remember their name to introduce you, and that was just weird because
Sound-
I know them.
Yo,
But
this
their
is
name is
you
not
know.
coming to me, and now here you're standing here, and I need to tell you their name, but I don't know their name, and so I'm gonna leave you to do it because they'll have to tell you their name.
But you know, that's so funny. I see Denise dying
Sloppy
over here.
comment.
Let me tell you, okay? So, hey, Nikki, we've known each other for what, 30 years?
Mm-hmm.
30 years, Nikki and I go back. Right? So, one of the most embarrassing situations I had maybe 10 years ago when I was back in Texas. Okay. I went to the HEB down on Slaughter Lane in Manchaca. Okay. And this guy walks up to me and starts talking to me in the grocery aisle. I was checking out. And my wife at the time was like, "Who was that?" And I was like, I don't remember who in the fuck he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was a friend from high school. I don't remember his name or anything. So it's sometimes it's like I couldn't introduce my
Right.
wife to her because I didn't truthfully know who he was.
Right.
Right. And I was to the point of this. You know, when somebody comes for Nikki, for example, if people see on your podcast, Quentin too, people are like, "Oh yeah, I've seen you in a podcast. Oh yeah, Nikki, love you, whatever." And you're like, "I don't know who you are," but you don't want to burst their bubble and say, "I don't know who you are."
No, if you do it, if you do it right up front,
I
then
agree.
it's okay.
Yeah,
It's when
I
you
agree.
If you don't do it, if you don't do it right up front, then it's too late to do it later
Yeah.
on.
I agree. I agree.
And here's what I've learned. Even out here, you know, I'm pretty. I wouldn't say I'm a big deal out here, but when people say, "Hey, Serge, what's up, man?" And I'm like, the first thing I say, Quentin, now is, "Hey, look, you know, I don't remember who you are. I see a lot of customers. Could you remind me of that? Refresh my memory."
Right.
That's one thing. But in the past, I'm like, I don't even know who you are. So sometimes when you fail to introduce people to somebody, it's not intentionally, it's because maybe I'm embarrassed that I don't know who they are.
True.
Right. But if it's in a relationship situation, when my girl, say for Denise, for example, say for example, you and I go to a dinner, right? And Nikki walks up to me. The first thing I'm going to say is, "Hey, Denise, this is my homegirl, Nikki. I've known her for 30 years. Say hello." If I was to say, yeah, so, hi, how's it going? That's a deflection of some bullshit personality. A man needs to be proud of whom approaches them, no matter whom it is.
I would be like, did y'all used to mess around? Because what's all this? if you can't,
Really?
you know, I mean,
Yeah, if you're not comfortable introducing, then that is another question. Like, okay, why didn't you see me and you see him and you ain't want to introduce us? Why?
Exactly. But you know,
I
Nikki
ain't
and I
gonna say
go
that
so
up
far
front, but I
back
will
that,
be
you know,
thinking that. I'm like, that was me. I must have been messing around back
that's
then.
what I'd be.
but this also goes back to personality.
Watching that
Come
energy.
up in the car later.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristic. Okay,
Yeah.
we got 12 minutes. Let me go do a couple more and then y'all can throw some in there. All right, we're still on relationships. This is more on the dating one though. This go back to what Nikki said. Stay off your phone. Stay off of your phone.
That's a gift.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
in addition to stay off of your phone, well, we just talked about that. In addition to it, because sometimes people get on their phone, they try to distract themselves because they ain't got nothing to say. They ain't got no mouth game. They ain't got no conversation. They don't know how to keep anybody's attention. So with that being said, if you're not a conversationalist, pre-write your questions. Have somebody write some questions for you. Get them from the internet. Like if that ain't your thing to where you can just pop off a conversation and build it off the fly, have it prepared. It's all right.
Yeah.
Until hell, I ain't, sometimes I get a little shy, I get a little nervous. So
it's actually rude to even have your phone in
Yes.
view.
Nope, it should be in your pocket at the.
Yeah,
at
it shouldn't
best.
even be
And
in
if
view.
it's in view,
Right.
it should be
The
face
table.
down.
Right. I agree. I
And
agree.
I go. I'm for close to the ivory. Don't even have it face. Have it
not
in
even
your
because
pocket.
face down, as soon as it vibrates, as soon as it
Then
lights
you
up,
flipping it over. You looking.
now it is
Everything on this phone is more important than the person in front of me.
So you're saying
And as soon as I get a little buzz, then
Right.
oh, what's this?
anything
Mhm.
that happens on your phone could take your attention away from me.
And in any instance where you do have to flip that phone up, I'm sorry, I apologize. Where you
Yeah.
Right.
and what I'm saying is apologize. That's a way of acknowledging I don't think that this is okay for me to be on my phone.
Right.
And you should not have an expectation that I'm gonna be flipping back and forth on my phone all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Okay, hold on for you. From there. Okay. Oh, okay. This goes back to first dating stuff. I don't know how I got this on relationship stuff. No direct sexual talk on the first date.
Or indirect.
Straight up. Right.
Well, you know what? There's a certain level of flirting if you do it the right way that can be kind of cute. But what I will say with
If
that
you
is,
do it the right way is
let
the
me-
key
let-
word.
not only that, not only
Hear
that,
it.
not only that.
Let's hear
Let me
it.
say the other half of it. At least mirror. And what that means is you should not initiate even the direct or indirect. But if somebody getting a little flirty with you, you
Right.
can mirror that behavior indirectly. You ain't got to get
Right.
direct or vulgar, but allow them the one to, throw little innuendos out there. And then you kind of come back with the wit as well and match the
Mhm.
same level. But no hard, direct sexual talk on the first date. I don't think that's
No, that's a
no.
major turnoff. That will get you either left or that will get you
And
never talked
I've
to again.
heard that from
Never.
countless amounts of women. This ain't even something I've heard enough women say it before to where I know, like, just stay away from this.
Well,
Because I mean, what it
I
boils
think
down to is like you don't have any tact. There is no
Right.
mystery that at some point here, if we are vibing with each other, that we're going to be interested in each other sexually. Like obviously, at some point,
Right.
it's going to go there. The curiosity is there. That is what draws us to people. Oftentimes, right off the bat, before I even know you, is the fact that I'm attracted to you. So there's no fucking mystery in that. But it is such a turnoff, in my opinion, for me, anyways.
I've heard that from countless women.
For that to just be like thrown out there like that, like just constantly, even if it isn't a constant thing, but it's just the innuendos. It's like my thing is like fellas, and this is for women too, but fellas, like you've got to.
It's more for men than women.
You gotta test. You got to study your subject more. And it doesn't take a lot to do this, but you've got to study this woman more to know what you think is or isn't going to work, in terms of pushing the envelope sometimes with shit like that. Because sometimes it is cool. Sometimes it is funny. Sometimes it is totally 100% reciprocated. But if she's not giving you no kind of green lights, don't.
I don't even recommend you initiate it. Like I said,
Agree.
And that comes
be
down
good to
to
have a good witty comeback for it. That's all I can say. But don't. Yeah, that's.
It comes down to the fact that there's men need to understand that there's a difference between sexual expectations versus the comfortable conglomerative experience. Okay, I don't know if that even makes sense, but I feel like a lot of men, unfortunately, they expect something, and those guys are not something that's marriage worthy. Okay, the expectation versus the chase, in my opinion, is totally different.
Right. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Let me throw this. Where am I at? Okay. No marriage talk on the first date.
Marriage talk on the first date?
Oh, you think it don't happen, Nikki?
You mean just like, whether you do or you don't want to get married type shit.
So what are your plans? Are you looking to get married?
We've had this conversation before.
What are you looking for in a wife? No, none of that. Do not on a first date have any marriage talk.
Mm-mm.
You're only, and Denise, you can jump in. I'm going to say this, and I am going to make this as clear as possible. Your only objective on a first date should be, do we have chemistry? Do we vibe? Can we laugh? Do we enjoy each other's company? That should be the only objective. If you enjoy each other's company enough to consider a second date, then those are questions that you could think about. Prior to that, you should not ask any of that stuff. And you haven't even established if you think this person is cool to hang out with. Don't do it. I'm sorry, Denise, go ahead.
That is an excellent point.
Oh, was that a hard pill to swallow, Denise?
She said, but.
Hey, my wife in the background, she goes, Quentin, you
Denise, let me say it like this, and then you finish, Denise. That's almost the equivalent of sex talk to men. How men push for sex,
wow.
Women trying to find out what type of marriage and relationship and what are you really. We're not even there. Why you don't know nothing about me. You already looking for a prototype before you even got the chance to know me. Turn off. Anyway, go ahead, Denise. I think you muted.
I think
that's a good question. So with that being said, what about
we got 4 minutes left.
Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead.
Now we can.
Can y'all hear me?
Can.
Yes.
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 Nope.
No.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
It's like going in and out. It's weird.
It's weird.
Okay.
You got 3 minutes now, Denise.
What about
there we go.
aligning going if you want children or not?
Not on the first date at all.
Nope.
Oh, it is?
Not on the first date.
You see the men like, nope.
Should not, and that is not conversation for the first date. In
So
addition
no marriage,
to that,
kids.
And here's my next one. Don't speak about past relationships unless asked.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I'm not.
This one. Well, we all don't let me. We ain't got much time. Let me say, don't be in a rush, or don't be on a time crunch. Do not accept a date if we gotta hurry up because I gotta do this by 9:30. If you in a time crunch,
no,
don't go on a date.
No.
If you're gonna be that rushed or that pressed or whatever, you taint the experience by you having somewhere else to be, and we gonna have to cut this short, or your mind is already on the next thing, and you're not even in the present.
You have to be a priority.
Yeah, for sure. Let
me see the last one I got on this. Oh, this is one that I did have to learn personally. Men, this is more just relationships. Relationships last day. Men, only go around the whatever you want to do tree one time.
Yes.
I had to learn that. That's because it don't matter to me what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then by the time she said, I don't care what you want to do. Decide, make a decision. This is what we're gonna do. Don't go back around the second one. I don't care what you nope. As a man, they are leaning to you to be definitive and make a choice. Don't go back around that. Don't after it go one time and it go back. When it come back, you make a choice.
I agree.
And at the same time, ladies, speak your piece. Quit. I don't know it all the time. I don't know what I want to eat. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I think. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You do, Nikki, but you don't want to like impose. Like maybe
I don't.
Maybe what I'm doing is like not on what you do right now. Maybe the place I want to go is not in your budget, right? Like I think we're trying to be nice, right? We're trying to let them pick what's in their world.
That's true.
But if he asked the question, I mean, it's like my dad always said, all you can be told is no. If a man asks what you want to do and you have all these, I don't know, just put it out there. And if we can, we can. If we can't, we can't. But I think too oftentimes
to tell you no, I can't take you there.
Exactly. For example,
shit. Well, you ask. Don't ask. Don't ask questions.
Guys. I thank everyone for their input and for their comments. If you decide we want to do a part 2 on this next week, then we could do that because there's other areas that we haven't touched. But I thank everyone for the input. I thank everyone who spoke on the put their comments in the chat. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And if you have any other ideas in the future, make sure you let us know. So and if y'all want to do a part 2, because I still got plenty of other stuff that we could talk about, we will do that. Just let us know. But until next week, thank everyone for coming out, and we'll see you next week. Have a good
Bye,
one.
everybody.
That was horrible.